At the footbridge, Carly tells Jason how grateful she is to have him back. She feels like she'll never be able to repay him for the years he lost protecting her. But he says there is no debt to repay, not between them. He says he couldn't let her pay the price for getting involved in something she would never have gotten into if not for him and Sonny. And she is not made out to be a mob boss. Their talk turns to Sonny and how he hasn't been like himself lately. Jason says now that he can tell Sonny the truth. Kate's is about to become Sonny's problem. He tells her that Kate's wants intel on Sonny, and he's also using Ava to get to him. He needs to get Sonny to trust him again so they can figure out how to deal with this. Carly knows Sonny is already headed for a custody battle, and now Kate's is trying to take Sonny down. Jason says Kate's has never had an opening to take Sonny down before, but now he does. Carly admits if he weren't here, she'd be spiraling out of control trying to handle Sonny, and they make a good team. He says they always have. Carly notes nobody wants to be in a situation like this, but if she has to be, she's grateful to be in it with him. They toast to one another with their beers. In the Quartermain stables, Tracy and Cody are stunned when James turns up. He's upset as Max says he has to take writing lessons elsewhere. They wonder how he got here. James says he took a ride share and used Georgie's phone to order it. Cody asks how he got out of his house. He admits he climbed out the window. Cody says he has to call his mom, and she probably won't be happy. James isn't happy either, as he wants to take writing lessons with him. He asks if he's been too annoying. Cody says he hasn't, and he loves spending time with him, but who he takes lessons from isn't up to him. Maxie and Spinelli arrive, and Maxie can't believe James snuck out of the house. James explains it was an emergency. Maxie says he cannot sneak out of the house, steal his sister's phone, and use it to order a rideshare. Tracy decides to head back to the house when Maxie suddenly asks if she hangs out at the stables often. Tracy says goodnight, and Maxie turns her focus back to her son and asks James why he came here. The boy looks at Cody, who tells James it's okay to tell them. James explains that Grandpa Max says he can't take writing lessons with Cody. Maxie tells her son that Grandpa Mac doesn't get to decide where he takes writing lessons, and that's up to her. He asks if he can continue the lesson with Cody, but she says they'll talk about that another day. Spinelli takes James to the car, and Maxie thanks Cody for calling her. She is also glad he's keeping his promise and is still here. Maxie takes off, and Sasha drops by, having received Cody's text. She asks what is wrong. He replies, everything. He fills her in on James' visit and that Mac told him that he couldn't take writing lessons with him anymore. Cody doesn't blame Mac, as he wouldn't want his grandson around him either. However, he loves that kid, and he's like family to him. Sasha says he is family, and that James is his nephew. Cody says, now he's hurting, and it's my fault. Sasha says Mac is angry, but it doesn't sound like Maxie feels the same way, and James still thinks he hung the moon. Cody says it's still Mac's opinion that matters. Sasha tells him not to overreact. Maxie and James clearly have faith in him, and she does too. Tracy enters the kitchen and finds Gio eating, having made himself a sandwich. He offers to make her one, but she'd rather have a cup of tea. She notes how he seems to be making himself right at home and tells Gio he'd be smart to be afraid of her as this is her house. He replies, I thought it was Monica's house, and Alan gave it to her. He asks her to join him with her tea, and he tells her a little about his growing up and schooling. Tracy grills him his favorite places in New York and why he loves the city so much. Their talk turns to gardens in New York, and Tracy brings up the beautiful gardens they have here that her mother gave to the city. She offers to show them to him sometime. Maxie and Spinelli return home with James, and Georgie yells at her brother for stealing her phone. Maxie tells James that what he did was wrong and dangerous, and they make him promise never to do it again. James says he really needed to talk to Cody. He thinks Cody will tell him the truth because something weird is going on, and nobody is telling him what it is. Maxie admits he's right. Maxie explains when Grandpa Mac came home that he found out something that made him unhappy, but it's private. Georgie asks if he's sick like Violet's grandpa was. Maxie says he isn't, and he's just going through something. Georgie heads to bed, and James asks why he can't keep riding with Cody, as he is the best. Maxie says they have to stay away from the Quartermain stables for a bit, but she'll figure it out.